Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Everton 0, Aston Villa 2. A disappointing day at Goodison Park. Been a lot of them, but it was the first one for Sean Dyche. Yeah, it was a flat day. Felt a very flat occasion. I don't know. To me, Saturday, the realisation of a lot of things came to the forefront, but it wasn't a great day, Baz.
No, it was flat. You just said the right word. It was flat. It was. I think we'd had the Arsenal team was the new manager, and it was Arsenal, and it was it, and you knew you were up against it, and then Leeds. Leeds was we need a response after the derby, but it was also represented a game we had to win. I think Saturday was, I think a lot of people knew Villa are dangerous, so it was that. But I don't know, I just don't know why the atmosphere didn't feel, and I'm not going to go with anyone, it's just the way what it felt, it just felt differently, and I don't know whether that was the team. I don't know whether it was looking and going, because you know, like when Dom played against Arsenal, he was like back and he played well, and I know he went off, and he come off with an injury, and he's getting scanned and there's no injury, not number, so you're thinking, okay, he might be back. Leeds was kind of like, well, all right, he's not back for this, but let's get the 3 points.
Yeah.
But then, like this Saturday, it's still the same thing, and you start going, when is he coming back then? Because we are blunt, and I don't know.
Maybe he's on the board.
Maybe. Can't turn up.
Can't turn up
unless someone gives him a lift.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah.
Denise gives him a lift, and he can't come.
I just think that everything just feels like a bit of a pressure cooker at the moment, and I just think there's a lot going on under the surface, and I think there's people who can't express themselves when they go to the match, and in any way in the fan base. You know, it's just at the moment, everyone is so uptight, and it's really difficult. It's really difficult to understand what we're going to do. I was obviously, you know, part of the march and the protest. I've no problem saying that on Saturday, and you do that, and you get to the ground, and it's just, there's so much conflicting feelings of what's going on at Everton, and you know, I'm not going to go overboard about the whole thing, but I just feel like we're in a bit of limbo. And you know, I know it's ironic because today is what, the 7th anniversary of Farhad Moshiri taking the club over, but I do feel like we're in this weird situation where everyone sort of knows what's going on, but no one can do anything about it except for the people involved. And there's this, you know, the atmospheres are just, everyone is just, they're terrified, but they almost don't want to let that out while they're at the match and make that a negative thing. But also they don't know how to use that in a positive way. And you're watching the game, and the ironic thing about Saturday was, I actually thought we played better on Saturday than we did against Leeds. I thought we were better. I thought we created more chances. I thought we had a better way of playing. I thought it was easy to see how we were going to score, even though we didn't score. You know, I thought we were direct. I thought we got the crosses in, but because we didn't get that goal when we needed to get that goal, it just felt like it was. Again, that tension just keeps building and keeps building. And whilst Everton can't score goals, there's very little down for us, I think, while we can't score goals. And I think people feel that, and they're trying to stay positive, and they're not getting on the backs of players, because you can see that most of them are trying to do what they're being asked to do. Yeah. And we have got a way of playing, I think, a little bit more, that's a bit more noticeable. But in a game like this, where you know if they get the set first goal, it's over. It just creates that little bit of tension, and I think that's where we are at the moment. And I don't know what's going to change that. I don't know whether it's going to be Dom coming back, or maybe if someone in the boardroom decides to resign and we start seeing a change there, and that might loosen people up, and people might. I don't know what it is that's going to do it, but at the moment there is a real. I genuinely feel, and listen, I mightn't be right, but I genuinely feel a lot of people feel like Everton are done for this season because of the goals, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought we'd done all right in the first half. The second half we were diabolical. But then I didn't think Villa were much better. Villa were poor as well. Two poor sides. It looked like Saturday. I'm saying Villa overall been better than us anyway. And
but they were better than Leeds though, weren't they? That's what I mean by being better. No, they were way better than Leeds.
No, Leeds are terrible. But Villa have got better plays in the final third, and that was how it proved. And Wendy came on, changed the game, and fair play to them, and Emery was brave. But I think for us, what was weird for me was the atmosphere just felt like last year. There was so much tension at every game. It was horrible. Every game you could feel like everyone's nerves on edge. Where I just don't feel like that this season.
No,
and that might be a personal thing to me.
There's an apathy.
It's just like, I don't know whether it's, without saying it, a realisation what's coming. I don't know. Or whether it's just because we don't look like we're capable of scoring a goal, so you can't people aren't getting overly excited or expectant, because you look at what's on offer in the final third and you go, no goals.
No, and I think that's what the issue is. I think this is why when people say about like the marches and stuff, don't do the marches and all that. I think the answer to that is, well, there's very little else. What do you want people to be angry within the ground, and then that causes a problem in the ground? I just think most people at the ground go to the match now, and I think they look at it. I think last year there was hope in terms, and don't get me wrong, there's still hope. We can still win games of football, but I think because we can't score goals, and I think you can create more chances. And the funny thing is, you create more chances, and it makes you see how big the problem is. Because a lot of the chances we've made in the last two home games, you know, with a recognised striker on the pitch, you've got 4 or 5 goals there. I think easily. And I think that's where people are like, I think that's Saturday, but there was almost this realisation of like, we can't score goals.
12 on target in the last 2 home games we've had.
We can't score goals, and there's nobody coming to save us. Because I think most people now have looked at the Dominic Calvert-Lewin situation and gone,
he's done.
He's done. Now, whether that's true or not might be a different thing. In 2 weeks, he might come back and go, guess what, everybody? We sorted the problem out, and I'm going to be able to play. But I just sensed that on Saturday that it reminded me of last year's game against Villa. I don't think you were at that game, were you? I don't think.
No, at COVID,
it was when Dunk was in charge, and I said to you, there was a weird atmosphere in the game where a lot of people just almost like this realisation that because it was Dunk, it was like Dunk ain't going to save us, and it was a bit like that. And listen, I think there's plenty of time to go, but when you're in the ground and when you're there for that time, there's days where you go, we could be playing till midnight. We ain't
It reminded me and Ned said this before, it reminded me a bit of the Wolves game actually last year.
It did,
where there was first half we were all right, and then they scored, and once it went in, you just kind of went,
Do you think there's a lack of belief in the players when they go 1-0 down?
Yeah, because if you've got lads up front, you know, can score, you relax and go the same as we do. If Everton had Romelu Lukaku, for argument's sake, you'd go, well, let's get him a chance and we're still in this game. You look at the moment, we got a centre forward playing that scored 1 goal all season, and the next time Everton take to the pitch, it's March.
Yeah,
he's got 1 goal.
Yeah.
So he's not going to score goals. Our left winger has got 2 goals, and our right winger's got. Has he scored a goal, or will we?
Yeah, 1 against United.
Sorry, yeah, he's got 1. Everton starting 11 on Saturday, he scored 8 goals. Aston Villa, Watkins and Bailey had 11 between them. And there it is.
Yeah,
there it is. Last home game was our right back. The home game before was our centre back. Yeah. So the players know that if it's why they miss a chance, they know that that's quite damning. So the minute Watkins fires the penalty into the back of the net, everyone just went on Saturday, yeah, it's over. Yeah. Because even if we grabbed the draw, you'd have took it and gone, all right, it's another point, we keep going. A lot of people realised when Watkins scored the pen we weren't winning the game.
No.
Where some games in the past with Everton, even with, there was half an hour left when he scored, you still might think, we get one now, or we get one in the next 10 minutes, we can push for the winner. There was none of that Saturday, and obviously it is because of, you know, as I said it in me 3 things, the manager, for me, got it wrong at the weekend with Maupay, and he got it wrong. He should have held his hand up at half-time and gone, I've got this wrong, I'm making the change. But that's still gambling on Ellis Sims, who so far hasn't looked like a Premier League striker either. No. So we are where we are, but none of us should be surprised. And you're right, we still have hope. Of course we do. I'm always hopeful. Every home game, especially home, I'm hopeful because we saw with the Arsenal game what it's like when the crowd are engaged. We saw against Leeds last week that something comes off, you get a goal and you can win the game. But Villa are a better team than Leeds, and obviously Saturday proved.
I think the problem for me on Saturday was we have to play more teams like Villa than we play more teams like Leeds. We've missed the boat on beating those teams now by keeping Frank Lampard in charge. Let's get it right. Frank Lampard should have been sacked after Bournemouth. Should have been.
But even if they didn't do Bournemouth, Brighton should have been, because we still had Southampton at home and West Ham away.
Any serious board, and funny enough, we were in America in the summer and we actually spoke about this.
No.
And we said, if we are anywhere near that bottom 3, we expected the manager to be sacked
at that time,
because that was the most logical thing to do. Well, clearly this Everton board
did it, didn't he?
Clearly this Everton board don't do logic.
No.
And they allowed him to stay in place, and you know, he come back, he gets the games that, you know, the games that really we would have took, I think, 6-7 points out of easily with someone like Sean Dyche in charge. And you're in a much better position. We've missed that now, because even with an improved team, those games are gone now, and we've got games like obviously we've got the games like, obviously it's gone now, but we've got like Brentford and you know,
our home games are Brentford, Spurs, Newcastle, Man City, Bournemouth, and there's one more, which is the other one's with Fulham, which is a winner. But it's like we've got like 3 which you could go, we could win them. Newcastle will be a real tough game. Spurs be a real tough game.
Yeah. The thing about it is,
away at the ones we've got Palace, Forest, Leicester, and there's another one, Wolves, who are all down there, and they're going to be, for me, they're the 4.
But the unfortunate thing is they're all away, and so he has to find a way, and we'll see that this week. You know, maybe the prototype will be Wednesday, and then Sunday will be, you know, full throttle on what he wants. But that to me was saying Villa are not massively better than us. They've got goal scorers like most teams have. But you look at that and to me, I came out that game Saturday and genuinely I just thought we're down. I honestly, and that's the way I feel. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not getting upset about it. I'm not trying to stress about it. I'm not blowing it out of proportion. Again, I go back to the summer. This was always my fear. Always my fear. If you do not have goal scorers, if you do not buy goal scorers, if you don't go out in the January window and buy goal scorers, you're in trouble. It doesn't matter how good you are on a football pitch. You could be the best team in the world. You could be the best defensive team in the world. If you can't put the ball, that's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters in a game of footy. And we can't do it. And it's consistent now. And what's consistent, and again, this is that thing I think been saying it most of the season, it's not even for the want of trying. It's not even for creating chances. We create chances. We can't put the ball in the back of the net. No. And we've seen that at the weekend. You know, Dwight McNeil, I think, probably had his best game in an Everton shirt on Saturday. He just, the amount of crosses and getting into good areas and doing the right thing rather than the wrong thing, you know, more often. And he's put it in the right place loads of times, and there's no one in there. There's no one in there to finish it off. You know,
that's my thing with the manager, with Maupay. I just don't get it. I don't get it. The lad last week should have been the thing that told him that's it. He's done as well. Because he's not in the right here. I believe I'd said this, and someone come back to me and said Alan Shearer said exactly what you said. Centre forward, see it.
Yeah,
balls again at the weekend flashed across the 6-yard box. He's nowhere to be seen.
I would really like to see what Ellis Sims would do with that kind of service, because that's the kind of service he deals with a lot more. And if you're playing in that style, and again, I think Ellis Sims is, I don't think he's a Premier League player, but I do think he's someone who would feed off that and, you know, would win more 50-50s.
Come on, and won about 3 headers on the run.
He'd win more 50-50s in that area than Mopai would. And I actually said that after the derby, I said, you stick with him now. You give him an hour, you've run him through the miller at Anfield, you might as well play him. And he's given Mopai a couple of chances, and I don't understand why. I hope he's not one of these managers who gets sort of fixed on a certain... Like, Connor Cody shouldn't be in the team on Wednesday. He shouldn't be in on the team on Saturday, really, by rights, after the Merseyside derby. He shouldn't have been... He shouldn't, yeah, but he shouldn't have been in the team after the Merseyside derby. It should have been Yerry Mina. I hope he doesn't become one of these managers who goes, well, you keep the same team because of this and because of that. And I hope that's not the... I hope it's the same with Mopai. Mopai was woeful on Saturday. He was woeful last week. He hasn't got the tools for the job. I don't know if Ellis Sims has got the tools for the job, but if you've given one fella a chance, you better give the next fella the chance if the other fella doesn't do the job. It's, you know, it's as simple as that. But we are where we are because of terrible recruitment. Yeah. It's as simple as that. You know, I've seen people on social media going, shouldn't have got rid of Rondon, and, you know, we should have, you know, why did we let Tom Cannon go? And it's like, but they're not the answers, are they? They're not the answers.
Tom Cannon scored his first goal in 8 at the weekend.
They're not. They're completely overlooking what the problem is. The problem is, in the summer, they never brought a centre forward in who was capable of being anywhere near what Richarlison had done. They're the facts. I've said this multiple times. Facts, yeah. Whether people like how I say it or whether how Baz says it or whatever, the facts are there. You don't replace Richarlison, and you've got a fella playing pre-season who you know could go out at any minute because that's what his injury record is telling you.
And he does.
The evidence is there. If I'm giving you a body of if I'm saying you've got a car and it keeps breaking down and you say, you know what, we're going on this long journey, should I get a new car?
All right.
Or should I take the chance just because it's running now? You know what's going to happen, don't you? And this is where we are, and this is why I can't. This is why I'm not really sitting here getting stressed about it. I know what the problems are. I know where the problems come from. You know, I don't think, but yeah. And I said, first half, I thought, after about the first 15 minutes, I think the manager said it himself, we settled down, we started getting joy on the left-hand side. I thought, as I said, Dwight McNeil was putting in some decent crosses, not brilliant, just decent crosses.
Not in the right areas, though.
But it's consistency. There's a consistency of a cross. Therefore, I'm looking...
Why aren't people running?
Yeah.
That's my argument. You see, I think if Ellis Sims is there as a natural centre forward, Ellis Sims, right, without saying, it's the same with Tom Cannon. Just because you say, don't think this fella's Premier League ready, doesn't mean you're saying he's not good and he won't ever be coming. You don't know, because players think, right? But what I know is with Ellis Sims, there's things he isn't very good at, right? Proved that he's done that at 21 level, 18s, right? But the thing he is very good at is being in the right place at the right time to score goals. That's his biggest strength. He scored goals in League One, he scored goals in the Championship, he scored goals in the Scottish Premier League. He gets across people and he's in the 6-yard box. And Dwight McNeil was just in an area which was exactly what he should have been doing. Half a yard ball in, half a yard ball in. Nothing wrong with that.
Do you think, coming back to the game, do you think there was a tactical element went out of the game when Onana got booked? Sorry, because I thought when I watched the game, it looked to me almost like Onana was going to be that physical presence in and around the box, pushing forward. And I think when he got that yellow card, I really think it took that out of his game where he couldn't be physical just in case he left one on somebody. And the ref, bad.
Not a shock.
Jesus.
Anyway,
I mean, I don't even know why he got booked, but I'm still struggling with the referee's performance. It's the worst I've seen for a vet. It was just awful. The Decore booking, Jesus Christ. Are you having a laugh?
No,
you having a laugh?
He was terrible, mate. He was
but that booking, I thought, took that physical presence of Onana to push forward, to be the presence for Mopai. Well, and I think maybe the manager, because clearly they said, you know, you look at that and go, you might need to bring him off, knowing some of the slide tackles he likes to do.
Put one in, didn't he, on the edge of our box?
He did. Well, he also give a foul away for nothing, but the ref give it just on it was the one that Dean put over. But it was like, you could just see what was going to happen or thought was going to happen. But I thought that took a little bit of that physical presence. And so you're thinking if you're going to have to rethink it, then maybe you're going to have to go, if we haven't got the physical presence of Onana, then we're going to have to change the centre forward. And I just, that again, those little moments of thinking, well, you've set a plan up, it's not working because someone's on a yellow card, you're going to have to do something about it. And if that means taking a player off like Mopar half time, just do it. Just do it.
He should have done it. Like I said, everyone makes mistakes. You can set something up and go think this might work. I've seen loads of managers. Mourinho famously took people off after 20 minutes and 25 minutes. In fact, didn't Lampard take Gomez off early on in one of the games last season? Just dragged them off or whatever. It's what happens, isn't it? At times you look and go, this ain't working. Need to make a change here. And I thought he would have done it at half time because it clearly wasn't working. But you're right, a couple of times in the first half there was some nice moves. You know, we had the one where Onana has the header and Martinez makes a good save either side of him. It's a goal. It was straight at him, but it was a really good save, point blank save. We had Iwobi should have done better with the cross. He comes in with his left foot. He just doesn't look convincing that he wants to score, and Martinez makes a good save on the line. But then we did, you know, we had a couple of great runs by Dwight McNeil, and it actually presented one of our best opportunities. I've got the stills from it here, and it was a great ball by Alex Iwobi to start it off. We're gonna get it on the screen now, I think. So you can see there McNeil's furthest foot. It was a great ball from Iwobi, and he's made the run. He's tucked right in and made the run, and he's left their defence for dead. And his first touch is good. You see on the next one, when it gets out of his feet, that's where he should where the arrow is. The first arrow is where he should take the ball. And the second one is just a right foot shot. Now, if Emi Martinez makes the save, brilliant, you clap on him because it's a good run. Keeper's made the save. That's what I expected him to do when he was clear of their defence. What he actually did on the next one is he turned back onto his left foot and turned away from goal. And Martinez, I haven't put it up, but the next one, Martinez is on the floor because he expects a shot and he has to get back up. And he turns back into their centre-backs. The next one, he lays it into Maupay. And the arrow is where Maupay should hit the ball because you can see the whole goal. Matty Cash is already leaning over to his left because he's anticipating where the ball goes. If Maupay just reverses it back, there's got a big corner of the goal to aim at, and he doesn't. The line is where he eventually hits it, and it's a back pass to Martin as he gathers it. And it was a really good chance, and I don't understand why McNeil doesn't just get it out of his foot and steer it goalwards. If he saves it, you clap on him because he's made a great run. Nice touch, and the keeper's made a save.
There was one of them in the second half as well. I think the ball got put over to him, and he was clean through. All he has to do is either hit a first time or knock it in front of him, and he doesn't. He takes a touch and comes back again. And the chance has gone. We obviously had the chance where there was in the second half where the ball was going out. It's one of those their plays, spins back in, and McNeil again. I think it drops to McNeil, and he goes to it with his right, then comes back on his left, and the chance is gone. And that's and this is, you know, when like I've dug him out, and I mean I think I give him man of the match in this game, but you can't have that as a professional footballer. You've got to take, and this is not just him, by the way, this is the whole team. You've got to be able to just take a chance first time. The amount of time there was one in the first half with the core, he got down the right and he got into the box. And then he waits and ends up slipping over, I think. Yeah. Because studs, he should get studs.
What it was with that, you're right, but what happened was, he won the ball and he done really well, the Corey, and got in. And McNeil and Maupay are outside the box jogging. Yeah. And I think it might have been Onana went in, but he was mad, and the Corey was like almost going, hurry up to go back and cut it back. And probably what he should have done was just smash the forwards and see what happened. But I couldn't believe it. We were screaming. They were just jogging, the pair of them. Like, oh yeah, I'm not really that bothered. When you need to be busting it, get in, I might have a tap in. And that's my thing with Maupay.
No, it's both of them.
He doesn't want
both
McNeil.
Of them, more of them.
Yeah, but Maupay, there's not enough. I want to score a goal. There's not enough of it. I just strike it. That's what you exist for. I don't get it. But that one there, he should have just pulled the trigger with his right foot. Don't care if his confidence or he isn't. If you steer something goalwards, we've seen loads of goalies get done because it's a rubbish shot, but they're not expecting it or whatever. And he might have parried it. Maupay might have had a tap in. It's like, and the manager said as much afterwards. The manager said, back yourself when you're in the box to shoot. You know, and
there's so many of these moments, and that was the most frustrating thing. There were chances given to us at the weekend, but we're just not taking them. We're not taking the chances.
How many times we took the ball off their back foot and broke, and then the final ball, or no one wanted to pull the trigger, they just kept giving us it back. In fact, the stats show, don't they, that we pressed better than we had in any of his games, and we took the ball off Villa's back foot.
The thing is, like, the XG's up, so we're creating more. Our XG was higher than theirs on Saturday. We're creating more chances, but again, you know, O'Neill has a good one save, tipped over. We really didn't do much off set pieces. There was one in this, obviously, as I mentioned, which was cleared off the line in the second half.
We had the one in the first half. Remember, Maupay flicks it on, and Tarkowski just can't put it in at the far post. But again, everyone's everyone's standing on the heels instead of being ready to move. And you move there, you've got to tap in. Took everyone out the game. Tarky's at the far post, can't put it in.
And the thing about it is, I know there will be people sitting here going, "We're getting better every game. We're getting a little bit better." But the problem is, that's great if you've got 30 games left. We haven't got 30 games left.
Stuff now,
you know, we're running out of time because, you know, you look at the table and you don't look at the table. Just look at our points and say, right, we're going to get from here to there. We're going to have to win so many games, and you look at that, and that's the problem. By making a decision again so late on Sean, and listen, were we sitting here at the end of the Bournemouth game saying sack Frank Lampard? No. But we don't make those decisions. We're not paid to make those decisions. We looked at it as in, we'll see what happens. They've made their decision.
But we also thought that they'd have 3 players lined up for January the 1st.
We should just probably stop thinking.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? I think we should go full German.
Stop expecting Everton to do the sensible thing, I think was
I mean, it's not even a sensible thing, Baz.
The required thing.
The required thing, you know, the thing that keeps your football club in the division, that saves lots of people's jobs, saves the club
projects,
millions of pounds, you know, all these things.
And you're gambling it. Well, we're not.
Well, they've gambled it on the manager, and they've gambled it on not buying players. And they've basically, I'm not saying they've sealed our fate, but they're having a right go at it. They've had a right go at it. You know, it's
well, we come out. I mean, first half was all right. They come out second half, and I was hoping we'd go at them a little bit more. And I don't know. I thought like the second half just
it wasn't great,
a little bit. It petered out a bit, and that's where 5 or 10 minutes into the second half, I had to brought Ellis Sims on and just said, right, can you win a few flick-ons for us? Can we get balls into you for you to attack?
They scored, didn't they? They scored in that sort of sweet spot of when you're like umming and ahhing over whether to bring players in. You know, obviously they've made the decisions, haven't they? They've brought the left back on. Took Dean off, and then they've put Buendia on for Bailey. So they looked at it and gone 0-0. We're winning this game. They're not scoring. You know, and again, this is that thing which I've said multiple times. I said this about the Merseyside derby. You get to a point in a game, and in the Merseyside derby, it happened after 15 minutes. You get to a point in a game as a team where you go, these are not scoring today. These aren't troubling us. And I think maybe after an hour, he's looked at it and gone, these aren't.
Well, just that we'd had the one cleared off the line just before it happened. Iwobi somehow hit it wide, and it hits Conze and comes back in, and Maupay's got to score really. If he heads it straight, he scores, and he just heads it at the goal, doesn't he? And Mings makes a really good clearance off the line. And then obviously they broke, and Jordan Pickford produced a tremendous save from Ollie Watkins. As he headed it, I thought it was in. Yeah. And he somehow pushed it onto the post, and Tarkowski's cleared it. Watkins, he made a good save from Watkins in the first half, actually, a diagonal run, and he was out to block him. But so they've probably looked and gone, we've just survived, we could have been one down there, let's take the initiative, and they've put Buendia on, who proved to unlock it. But both goals from an Everton perspective were really poor to concede. We have a look at the first one, got the stills here, it's a throw-in, and we'll look, I mean, I've circled John McGinn there. I was looking, thinking, why is the Corey so far away from the play when it's a throw-in? But I don't know whether he was supposed to be looking after Douglas Luiz, who's behind him. So it's really probably Garner's man. The gap's a little bit big. It goes into Buendia, the throw, and on the next one, he just plays a lovely little round the corner for McGinn. I've got the arrow where McGinn's going to attack, and we're all ready. You can see Garner in a little bit of trouble. The next one is, again, there's McGinn. So they're almost coming together here. Now, if Garner just runs alongside him, then make him do something. The only real thing he can do, because he's running into traffic, is knock it off to I think it's Watkins to the left, or is it or Jacob Ramsey, and then that's up to whoever that is, Cody, I think, or is it Coleman, to go and get out blocked there. The next one, we're seeing again, we've got that there where he's got the run now, hasn't he, on Garner? He's the wrong side, and then we take it on again, and then it's Garner putting the challenge in. You can actually see Garner getting his foot on the ball here in the penalty area, but his other leg has caught the side of John McGinn's other leg, which takes him down, and then the next one, obviously, he's in a heap there on the floor. But for me, if Garner just stays alongside him and pushes him into traffic, all right, if McGinn bends it in, he bends it in. The minute you try and nick something,
I think you've got to be 100% if you make a tackle.
If you're going to make the tackle.
The irony is, you make a tackle like that outside the box in the Merseyside derby, and they don't score the first goal. So, you know what I mean? And then you do it in the box. I think John McGinn still got loads to do there, by the way.
Running in, and actually, when you watch it in real time, Conor Cody gets round anyway. And I don't think he gets any kind of clear shot. So, you get a block.
And even if he is, Jordan Pickford's just made a wonder save.
Exactly.
He's
you know, but what you're doing is you're giving Ollie Watkins, the ball from, who scored 4 in 4, or, you know, scored in 4 games on the run, you're giving him a penalty, a free shot at the goal, and once he smashes that,
there's no coming back, was there? And it did. It felt like it did. It felt like the wind went out the sail, and everyone was, and then, you know, it gone. We didn't make another
belief. Just dropped that.
It did, because everyone believes that that's it. We go 1-0 up, it's a completely different thing. I think we can defend the 1-0 lead, but once you go 1-0 behind and you're leaving, you don't know what to do. You haven't got creative players. You know, set pieces are going to be tougher because they can put more men back in. Yeah.
Well, we brought Sims on, and his first actual contribution, he flashed the shot just over the bar, didn't he? It wasn't a bad attempt, actually. But we just didn't get him anything. You know, Damari Gray come on and done nothing. No. He done that thing again where he used to do, he done this last season. He just holds on to the ball too long. Starts doing step overs for no reason.
Just put the ball in the box.
We've got men in the box, mate. Get half a yard and throw it.
It's like he hasn't got the memo. No, honestly, there was loads of times where he'd already beaten the man, and all he had to do was just flash it in.
And why was he over on Dwight McNeil's side all the time? He come on. He come on.
Should like him.
Maybe. Well, that's fine, mate. You need to come over to the right as well. Took Iwobi off, and then we just lost the right hand side.
I just thought he was woeful.
And
I just thought he was crap. He just like, you've got the ball. You've beat. Oh, just flash one in.
Throw it in.
See where it lands. We're getting loads of the ball. It's not like we're coming up the pitch every now and again. We're getting loads of opportunities to get in and around the box. Do something with it.
It was us giving it away by messing around with it, really, and then you leave just susceptible to the second goal. And the second goal is an even worse goal. It starts with, we're going to have a look here, it starts with, and I haven't put it on, but Tyrone Mings just knocks a ball from the edge of their box, and he's able to knock it into Ollie Watkins, and this is what a good, we wouldn't be able to play that ball, because I don't think Maupay could keep it. He knocks it into Watkins, who knocks it off, and then John McGinn's got a run, and it's almost 3v3 as they're coming in here. McGinn's on, we take it on again to the next one. It's opening up for McGinn. He's got, you know, there you go, 3v3. Our midfielders are still behind. Take it on again, please, Ned. Gets it, releases it out to Buendia. Now Garner's getting back as well. So at the moment, we're okay here.
We are okay.
Tarkovsky's got McGinn. Buendia and Cody are facing up. Garner's trying to come round, and Michalenko's looking after whoever that is. Watkins, I think that'll be over on the other side. Take it on again, please, Ned. And then when we get to this stage here, the only real thing, that's the one, Ned, you've gone too far. Go back, please, mate, to the arrow going towards the goal. You've done me here, Ned. The only real thing he can do there, Cody, you see, that's the shot. That's the shot that's on, and you can see Tarkovsky's leg coming out, as if to say, well, I'm trying to shut this off. If he puts it there, then okay. The other way is the next one, please, Ned. This is where Cody should be anticipating where Wendy is going to go.
Not anticipating, he should be sending them there anyway.
And going with them, though. But he doesn't. He turns his back. Wendy goes, and on the next one, you see it. And that's where he's
The thing about that goal is, right, that's a goal you concede when you are 2-0 down, not 1-0 down.
Yeah.
Like when you've pushed everyone forward.
And
I mean, when that goal goes in, there's still 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
There's still 10 minutes.
More,
and what I can't understand about that goal is that they've doubled up. They've got him where they want him. Now all you've got to do is push him wide and go with him. If he wants to go the way he goes, that's brilliant.
That's what you want.
That's what you want, because Conor Cody, if he goes with him, is covering the goal and the goalie's covering the goal. And it's...
He's not scoring, is he?
No. And Conor Cody's gone, oh no, we've got to stop him from going this way. It's like, why? Tarkowski's there.
Just because he throws the foot back.
That's awful.
And you go like
awful.
that. You're doing that thing. And by the time he realises, he's turned. By the time he realises, Buendia's got the yard.
That to me is shocking. There's 10 minutes to go and you're giving someone a second goal like that. That's pathetic.
You stay in the game till injury time, you might nick a draw. And you get
that to me was pathetic to give a goal away, and obviously that was the absolute killer, but that's shocking, that. That is really just basic defending.
It was poor.
Send him that way, go with him, and you'll be fine.
If he ends up arrowing one into the roof of the net from there, you can then point the finger at the goalie or go, what's happened there? But, you know, I've seen people go, Pickford shouldn't be getting beat on his near post. Well, okay, but our centre-back should be, just because the lad draws his foot back, how's he done you there? How's he done you so much that he's got a shot? He's done nothing extraordinary. He's just gone, I'm going to hit it. No, I'm not taking it here. Cody should have gone with him. It was a terrible goal to concede. And fair play to Villa. The sub set, you know, played the ball, got McGinn the pen and scores the second goal. And sadly, we had nothing to offer. We had Tom Davis on the bench.
Tom Davis, the only midfielder. The only midfielder. Yeah. So you got him, you got Damari Gray, and you've got El Sims, and that's it. Everyone else is a centre back. Yeah. So unless he can come up with being again creative ways of getting more out of what he's got on the bench, you know, he's going
to have to bring some of the kids in, isn't he? If they're the creativity, Stanley Mills has gone. And again, he's another one. He's probably nowhere near ready. But if that's all you've got, then what are we? I know James Garner's close to being back, and Nathan Patterson. But one's a right back and one's a young.
But they'll make a difference.
They will make a difference.
They'll make a difference because you have got options. Then it might, you know, Garner might get into areas where he will shoot and things like that, and that's so annoying that players aren't shooting or have to switch to the other foot, which is I don't care who you are as a professional footballer, if you've got to switch your foot, that to me is criminal. Criminal. Yeah. Because loads of them have got swingers, but they'll swing it.
You just have a go. All you do is I'm hitting the target. If he saves it, he saves it. Like I said it with the Corey last week. Luckily, it didn't affect last week because we won the game. But we both said, just hit it with your left foot. If you screw it wide, so be it. If you hit it over, so be it. But try and make the keeper at least have to save it. To stop and to pull out of the shot because it's not your favoured foot is nonsense to me at a professional level. It's absolutely... Wendy is right-footed. He shifted it onto his left and arrowed it past Pickford. Yeah. He hasn't gone, my right foot, I better turn right back, because he knows if he turns back, the chance is gone. Ours, we're trying to set it
again,
perfectly.
It comes back to recruitment, doesn't it? The recruitment has got us where we are. Yeah.
And some of them people are being promoted, which isn't...
Well, the whole thing's just nonsense, isn't it? Yeah. I sit here on the 7th anniversary of him coming in, and I'm just baffled by basically any decision he ever makes. I'm staggered. It staggers me when I see anyone support him, or anyone who's on his board get supported. I'm staggered by it. It's just, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can praise people who've spent the money and got us into this position. It baffles me. It absolutely baffles me. And you know, the old one of, spend 500 million quid, to get us here.
Of Everton's money back.
Yeah, of Everton's money. You know,
not his money.
They've sold players like Lukaku and John Stones and Ross Barkley, and obviously, you know, Richarlison more recently, and where other clubs have taken money from players like that and reinvested it and bought real top quality. I give you our team because it's terrible. It is terrible.
I think there's good aspects to it, but that final third's shocking. If I've done a stat that says that team scored 8 goals, and yet two of Villa's front three have got 11 between them, that tells you everything you need to know. We didn't have any... If that final third and again, without, like you just said, McNeil's, he's vastly improved under Dyche, hasn't he? Like I said, we hope he'd become a useful squad player. He will be. But you can't rewrite history. No. Him and Neil Maupay didn't have any goals in them. And yet Everton invested some money in both of them now.
The money.
The only money for that attacking area.
Money.
Why do it? So, invested in McNeil sound, but then go and get a centre forward then who fits your framework, fits the type of thing you want. Every Evertonian will, if you speak to them, will go, I don't, or certainly a lot of them, or the ones I've spoke to and the ones we see, will go, I don't understand the Maupay one, because he's not like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Everyone says the same thing. Everybody.
It's common sense.
So why did we
But that's the worst
think...
thing, though, because it's common sense. It's not even difficult.
No, there'll be nuances where you go, well, he does this and we haven't got that. But at least framework. If Neil Maupay was a sprinter, I'd go, well, it's because he's quick.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think you could do worse than Neil Maupay?
No, and I'm 50.
Honestly. Because he has such little effect on a game of football that...
if he was, okay, his link-up play wasn't great, or he's not able to physically out-muscle Tyrone Mings, no issue. If he was always in the box and getting on the end of things, he might score all the time, but having chances and shot. He doesn't do the easy bits for a centre-forward, which are get across the front post. When crosses come in, be in the middle. That's it. You can affect the game. Some strikers will come and they'll show for you and they'll lean in and spin. They'll go in behind, or they'll be aerially dominant, or you won't be able to get the ball off them because they physically shield the ball brilliantly. Others will have minimal effect on that area, but will always end up putting the ball in the back of the net for you. And you go, he has to play because he's got goals. Like Umar Niasse, right, wasn't a very good footballer, was he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, he was terrible.
But the lad got himself into goal-scoring positions, ended up getting 8 goals in 10 games or something, an important, or whatever he got for Everton, which was some important goals. That's what you have to do. You have to, you're Maupay, you should be going, I'm not really going to physically outmaneuver these two, but I'm going to be there for tap-ins in and around that penalty spot. He just doesn't affect it. And that's the frustrating thing. That's why I'm saying, for me now, it's just Ellis Sims all over. And I'm not even sitting here going, Ellis Sims will be brilliant and we'll turn him into Dom. We had to play Dominic Calvert-Lewin when he had rough edges because we had no one else, and it helped him. Yeah. At the worst case scenario it improves Ellis Sims a bit, but it gives Everton an outball. Because he come on and he won 3 headers against Conza at the weekend, 3 flick-ons. Maupay was never winning any. Yeah.
Well, we'll need that for the Championship. Anyway, let's have a look at the stats.
There you go. 15 attempts at goal for Everton, 9 for Villa. Both have 5 on target. Everton 1 big chance, Villa 4 big chances. I think 2 of them are obviously the goal and the penalty, aren't they? They had 53% possession and completed more passes. There you go.
There you go.
The tail of the tape.
Disappointing afternoon, we'll see what happens. Just bounce back at Arsenal, no issues there. No, bounce.
Forest,
give it a good go on Wednesday, but Forest is now
is a huge game.
Unbelievably huge.
It's a must. If it isn't a must win, it's a must not lose.
Yeah. Well, it's a must not lose at least, at the very least.
Well, they're on 25 points, aren't they, Forest? So
there you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'll be continuing for a few more minutes over on Toffee TV Premier, where we are now live. If you want to become a Toffee TV Premier member, we do daily live shows. The link is in the description and it'll be coming up on the screen now. It's a QR code. Just scan it. Thanks for watching. See you later.